$100,000. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I was able to save $100,000 at 23 years old while being a full-time student. What's up everyone? My name is Garrett. I'm a 23-year-old entrepreneur here in Arizona, and I like making videos about entrepreneurship, finance, and business in general. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But in this video, I wanna go over the tips and strategies that allowed me to be able to save over $100,000 at the age of 23 while going to school full time. Now, what I can tell you, it was a long journey for me to actually be able to save this amount of money, and I don't want to make this video to brag or boast or anything like that, but I want to give you guys some of the practical tips that I implemented in my life that created the discipline for me to actually be able to save this amount of money at a relatively young age. If you're watching this video, odds are is you probably don't have $100,000 saved up and you're looking at different ways to actually get there. But everyone's situation is different, so not everything I tell you and show you in this video is actually going to be practical in your everyday life, but I hope some of the stuff in this video you guys can actually take, apply, and help you get further to that goal of saving up $100,000. So the first step in actually saving up this amount of money is deciding, why do you actually want to save this amount of money? Because I found it very hard to save money when I didn't have an end goal in mind, right? So maybe this is paying off your college loans, maybe you're saving up for a down payment on a house, maybe you want to buy yourself a car, maybe you want to buy your mom or dad a car. Whatever the case might be, is figure out your why. Why do you actually want to save this amount of money? Because if you have an end goal in mind, it's going to make it a lot easier to, make that sacrifice that it takes to actually attain that goal. So the biggest factor that I believe impacts your ability to save money is your income, right? If you're not making any money, it's not going to be very easy to save any money. And if you're making very little amount of money, like minimum wage, it's probably not going to be realistic for you to save $100,000 anytime soon. I'm just being honest. So I want to focus in this video on ways that you can actually increase your income to make it a lot easier for you guys to go out and achieve this goal. So if you're in college, maybe a full-time employee, I want you guys to think about finding a side hustle, right? This could be something you do on a Saturday, maybe driving for Uber, maybe for Postmates, maybe you're buying and selling. Whatever the case might be, is figure out a way. Maybe you're just picking up an extra shift at work, maybe getting a second job, a night shift job, whatever the case may be. Adding an additional income stream to your overall income already is going to help you achieve that savings goal a lot quicker. And yes, this is going to take major sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice, social time. If you're working on the weekends, you're probably not going to be able to go out with your friends on the weekends as much as you normally would. But again, if your goal is to save this amount of money, it's going to take a lot of work. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now, another way to instantly increase your income is simply by seeing if you can get a raise at work. Ask your boss, hey, I've been doing a great job. As long as you've been doing a great job, say, hey, can I get a little bit of raise? I think I deserve it. Something as simple as that will automatically increase your savings ability just by asking for it. A big mistake I see with people in their savings goals, especially when finding a side hustle, a second job, maybe getting a raise at work, is they say, hey, I got all this extra income coming in that they didn't have before, and they just go out and spend it. What I want you guys to do is dedicate your side hustle and the income you make from it to either making more money with that money or just putting all that extra money that you're making aside. Don't increase your living expenses just because you're making more money. Again, the goal here is to save money, so don't think about going and buying a new car just because you're making an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Again, we want to save $100,000. We don't want to spend $100,000. Another big factor when it comes to saving money is your ability to cut out unneeded expenses in your life. And this could be something as easy as buying generic branded products, right? Buy the store brand versus the name brand. Buy the store brand cheddar cheese versus the Kraft cheddar cheese. Buy the store brand body wash versus the Old Spice. Something as easy as this, cutting out 50% of your purchase price when you're buying these products on a consistent basis, really starts to add up over time. If you're living on your own, can you find a roommate to pay half of your rent? That's going to be an instant savings that you can put to the side to help you reach your goals. Maybe you're living in a place that's taking up a majority of your income. Can you somehow break your lease, or once your lease is over, can you go and move into a place that's cheaper? These are all things that can instantly increase your savings ability and decrease your living expenses. Also, for those of you that are young and in college like me, stay at home if possible, right? You don't need to move out with your friends so you can party every single weekend and do whatever you want. That's just gonna create, in most cases, more debt, more money for you to pay back, and it's gonna prohibit you from actually meeting your savings goals. So if you are lucky enough to come from a family, I know a lot of people don't have this ability to actually live at home, but if you come from a family that welcomes you to stay at home while you're going to school, you're gonna save easily an extra $1,000 a month just by doing that. I mean, unless your parents want to, you know, pay for your living expenses while you're going to college, maybe negotiate with them, say, hey, if I can live at home instead of paying for my living expenses, do you mind putting what you would spend on me for an apartment or whatever, do you mind putting that in a savings account that I could have once college is over? That's gonna help you big time as well. I'm not saying that most people probably won't be able to do this, but it's something to think about. Sacrifice now so you can meet your goal later. Another big expense is just people eating out, going clubbing, all this stuff that costs a lot of money. Guys, try to cook at home, buy cheap food healthy food that you can cook at home. Instead of going and buying 10 drinks at the bar every weekend, why don't you go ahead and drink 8 of them at home for 1/10 of the price and maybe only buy 2 every single weekend? I can tell you very, very simply that by cutting your expenses, especially if you're someone who enjoys the nightlife, it's not hard to go out and spend $200 a weekend easily just going out partying, clubbing with your friends, guys. You can definitely, let's say you save an extra $100 a week by cutting your expenses just on going out and clubbing. That's an extra, what, $5,200 a year. That's gonna help you propel you to your savings goals. Now, once you have this additional income coming in and cutting your living expenses down, what you wanna do is try to find investment opportunities, whether that's in the stock market, maybe you wanna invest into different assets, whatever it might be. If you can invest your money, it's gonna be a lot easier to grow that savings by investing in stocks that pay a dividend and then reinvesting those dividends. Whether it's just investing in the stock market, index funds, whatever it might be, maybe you can pick up a investment property inside of your town, whatever that might be. It's a lot easier to compound your money when you have a savings of money that's actually earning money for you, and then you just keep adding to it, and it keeps growing bigger, bigger, and bigger, and you'll be surprised that 7% on, let's say, $10,000 is only $700 in a year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're continuing to add money to that pile every single month, it starts to grow really fast. And then once you get past that $50,000 mark, $60,000 marks, it seems like this money is just growing at a rate that you would have never thought possible. So don't dumb down compounding your money, because let me tell you, I've seen it happen right before my eyes. Compound interest significantly helps your ability to save money. Guys, that's pretty much it. Those are the 3 factors that kind of allowed me to be able to save this amount of money. To give you guys some more backstory, is right out of high school, when I joined college, I started my own business. So I've been able to earn a lot of income. I've added different side hustles like here on YouTube that earns me a little bit of income, and having all these different income streams at such a young age. I also lived at home. I didn't have an expensive car payment. I didn't have all these added expenses that a lot of my friends had and a lot of people that I know take on. I just sacrificed really early on because I knew my goal was to save as much amount of money as possible with the goal of investing it in real estate and stock market and things of that nature. It was pretty easy for me to hit this goal. Now, it took me a couple of years to actually get the ball rolling, get some good income coming in, but once I did, with the ability of not having too many expenses every month and having a large amount of money, you know, some of your 6 figures coming in, it allowed me to save this money very easily. Again, we all have different situations, but I think by adapting these different things, increasing income, cutting expenses, looking for the right investment vehicles is really gonna help you guys save that $100,000. If you're new to the channel and you really enjoyed this video, if you gained any value whatsoever, please do me a favor, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps my videos get pushed out there, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. I post it quite often here on my channel, and I'd love to have you as a part of the family. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna see you guys on the next video.